Hello robotics and engineering students, here is your challenge for this week. Normally I give you sort of step-by-step instructions more or less on how to create things within Fusion. This week I am going to give you very few steps and see if you can work through a challenge of trying to create something. This week we are going to use an image, and this time I will attach that image somewhere. I'll put it pinned to the Fusion 360 channel on Discord, so look for it there. I'll also email it to you, but look in those two places. We're going to use an image. You can see the image back here to actually sculpt a model. I am in the render section now, so you can kind of see what we're looking at. But here, now you can see the actual sculpture that I've begun to create. I haven't finished it yet, so that way that you can't see everything. Let's go over to design. Here you can see the actual beginnings of this shape. These two shapes are created from one type of form. If we're talking about forms, we're talking about in the create menu under the solid tools here, creating a form. Okay, so that's where you're going to begin this process. Very similar to how we worked creating the Fusion 360 logo. So go ahead and click on that, and we're going to use one of these predetermined forms here. And the one we're going to use, and I've used it for all three shapes, and when I say all three shapes, I mean the body here, the arm, and the head, is this quad ball. And so once we add the quad ball, and it'll ask us for a plane to put it in, and then a point to insert it, and then we can change its size to whatever we want. We'll just hit OK. Now, to get yourselves started here, let's just say that this quad ball is actually going to be the head. But please note, I've used the same quad ball to make this body and to make this arm, starting with this type of quad ball. We'll go to the modify menu, and we can move it, and just by selecting it and using the arrows to sort of begin to get it into position. Once we're sort of happy with the position, and just to be clear, this is really going to require a lot of moving around the model in 360 degrees to really make sure that this is placed where you want it to. I'm not going to do a whole lot of that right now. I'm just trying to give you a sense of what's going on. And we'll just hit OK. And it'll take a second. And then the next thing we're going to start to do with it is basically editing the form. And we can do that a number of ways. We can select a point and begin to pull on the points in different directions. We can also choose faces, and we can choose them together by shift selecting, and we can begin to pull those faces. If we hold down the Alt key on a PC, Option on a Mac, and let's just say I choose this face and go back, edit form, and I'm holding down Option because I'm on a Mac, it actually will create a new, it'll kind of extrude the form from there. So you'll see kind of that came out. If I hold it again, another thing is going to come out. My computer's being a little slow today. And I can kind of keep going to create additions to the form. You can create symmetry within the form. This is maybe the last thing I'll show you here. If we go mirror internal, it's going to ask for two faces. I'm going to select this face and then this face, and now you'll see this green line show up. I'm just going to hit OK. If I just select this face, notice how this one's turned yellow. Whatever I do to this face is going to happen over here. So if I decide to edit this face, they're both going to come up. if I decide to just grab this line here and edit that line, they're both going to react the same way. The other thing to note is this little guy here, this sort of circle with 3 triangles around it. If I hold down on that and sort of move my mouse to the right or left, it's going to expand and contract that, sort of scaling the line down. And it'll do that with any shape too, scaling the shapes down. So this is how you are going to begin to shape this into the 3 different shapes you see here, and try and create Eve the robot. Let me know if you have any questions. This is going to be a tough challenge, but let me know if you have any questions on Discord or email, and good luck. This is something I wouldn't start on Sunday. Bye.